All right, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us. Out of the mouths of babes. Now we hear from young people in South Africa as to what they think of the state of the budget and, of course, the state of affairs in general when it comes to the economy of the South African Republic. I've got Mpho with us and Hardes. Now, they joined or entered at least the Netbank Old Mutual budget competition. They're among the finalists. The winners will be announced tonight. Talk to us about what topic you had to write about in your essay.
Basically, what I wrote about was economic growth and how the budget deficit and also our current account deficit has an impact on the economic growth of South Africa. My focus was mainly on institutions and the institutional decay that we see in our land, and then also how we should focus on this in order to attract investment and then ultimately grow our economy further.
Serious problems you've raised there. Any solutions that you brought forward?
At the moment, basically focusing on leadership. We need a better leadership, especially in Parliament and especially in politics. And with this, we'll see the institutions picking up, and then ultimately we'll definitely see growth at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Hardes. Mpho, what did you write about?
My essay basically focused on what Hardes was saying, but I focused a lot more on education and increasing exports as a measure to increase long-term economic growth.
Why did you venture into economics?
It's very interesting. It allows you to think of scenarios as opposed to like one frame of mind.
And do you think young people in South Africa are particularly interested in the budget speech?
In my experience, no. A lot of economic students are interested because of the specific competition, but generally, no.
And of course, we're generalizing, so I'm glad you said generally here. We don't have any facts or figures on this. But Hardes, you tell me about perhaps your opinions and whether or not you think young people have a particular interest, and should they have an interest in the budget speech?
At the moment, I don't think they have an interest. I definitely follow Mpho's view on this, but the budget speech itself offers a great opportunity for young South Africans to join the conversation in economic growth. So I definitely advise them to give it a chance.
What do you think they would pick up from it? Should they switch on the TV at 2 o'clock and decide, you know what, I'm actually going to cut out Vuzu or MTV a little bit, and perhaps I shouldn't have said that on live TV, and watch the budget speech? What do you think they would get out of it?
A nice way to be involved in the changes that you want to see in the country. As for the competition itself, they offer generous cash prizes for long-term studying that you want to do, so it would definitely be of interest to them if they did switch on.
And economics, something of particular interest for you? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I'd like to definitely see or become a head economist somewhere to actually make a change in South Africa. I definitely see a good future for South Africa at the moment. Not at the moment, but in the future, and definitely be helping in that regard.
And you, Mpho, in a few years' time?
I would also want to be like a head strategist for one of the big banks in South Africa, and at some point maybe venture into the World Bank and the IMF.
You're not going to go anywhere near the public sector?
No, not.
Why not?
No, not at the moment. That's not my place. Definitely the private sector.
You don't want to be the change you want to see?
Yes, I do, but from the private sector.
In other ways?
In other ways, definitely. So for me, something like the World Bank would definitely do.
All right, let's leave it there at least for now. Thank you so much. And here was I thinking that we would be having a future finance minister and one of the two of you. Listen, it's not a bad idea that you guys are venturing into, and all the best for tonight in the competition. We'll find out who the winners of that budget competition were in just a moment. All right, it's a goodbye from us. So thank you so very much for having joined us. What is the time now? It's about 10 to. In fact, let's take an ad break because there's still plenty of time. Let's see what else we can get from the streets just outside Parliament in just a moment. Ad break. Come back and we'll be back with more in just a moment.